Growing up in post-apartheid South Africa as a black woman was already a lot to navigate on its own. Our society was changing, our country was changing, our school dynamics were changing, and the political climate was too. And with that, as a black young woman, I went to schools with people that didn't quite look like me. And so I was already navigating the different social and economic spaces. The older I got and got into university, the more I started to question myself and my queerness. And the more I started to navigate the space as well, the more I would try and find information, the less I would find. Which is why I'm so excited that Microsoft is partnering up with Uthingo in order to give these resources to the queer community and the community beyond that.
What we are hoping to achieve with the app that we are developing in partnership with Microsoft is an opportunity for all members of the queer community to have access to information, tools, resources, and the kind of support that will offer real meaningful impact in their lives.
Uthingo Africa, we've been doing focus group in different areas, like in Midlands, with the community of the LGBTI. What we are doing, we're trying to develop an app for Microsoft where we get information from the community. They tell us how do they think about the app, how the community is gonna benefit about the app, and we've been doing in different regions now. We've been in Eco also, whereby we gather information, that information that we are also presenting to Microsoft so to get the information whereby they will tell us about the challenges they are having as a community. From all those focus groups, whenever first thing they were talking about, it's been discreet on the app. And so they were asking me about being discreet on the app. They wanted whenever you're gonna be logging into an app, at least you can punch in your PIN code and the icon. So the icon, whenever they spoke about the icon, they said an app, it shouldn't show that it's a Microsoft app. You can make an app probably like something like a soccer or a date or something. And whenever they were asking again, it was like they wanted the app should be asking more questions about the LGBTI things, because at the end of the day, they wanted the app to interact with them.
According to the HRC, every year across our continent, millions of people face physical, sexual, psychological abuse and violence just for presenting or loving differently.
As of 2021, only 22 out of the 54 African countries are you allowed to be homosexual. And only one out of the 54 countries allow for same-sex marriage and for queer rights.
Being gay or a member of the queer community on the African continent is not easy. It's not easy in most places in the world. And that's a sad state of affairs that in 2022, we're still asking for help. We're asking for help from governments, from our communities, from our leaders, from our politicians, from our educators, and that help is not forthcoming. It is time for the queer community to rise up, to take ownership of our own issues, and start fighting back.
This app is going to focus on sexual, mental, and legal resources for the community and the greater community.
So the app will be able to give access to information for legal information, for instance, whereby you need to know where you can get legal-wise information whenever one is being raped. For instance, whenever you need information about if you have an STI or linkage to hospital, it will give you. If you need support system for a social worker, an app will be able to, whenever you click on an app, just type in whatever information you need. The app will be able to give you the information. For me, the app is gonna be, I think it's gonna work out gratefully. It's gonna create jobs for the LGBTI who are in need of jobs, and mostly it's gonna be educational. That's a very important one. The app is gonna be your support system to give information. The app also, we want it to work with different organizations. Organizations could have access to it.
people don't tend to understand them and they don't give them much attention that this is who they are. We must accept them as they are, especially in our communities as well. And even in the emergency sectors like police stations and hospitals.
The app's gonna help us people who are part of the LGBT plus community a lot because whenever we facing challenges or discrimination from other people, we can go there, share our stories, and support each other, give each other advices as to how are we gonna handle the situation.
I think the app is a good idea and it will be very helpful towards the community, not only us as lesbian, gays, and transgenders, but for the community as a whole. Because it will help those who are clueless to actually know the things that we're going through and how we live and actually understand everything that's happening. That they should understand and take us the way we are.
What needs to change is it's behavior. That's behavior. And that comes with a lot of education, unfortunately. Because I think if there's no education, there is not behavior that's going to change.
With the app, you won't have to be scared to go and open a case or go to the social workers and be sitting with someone and telling them something. The app you will just go to the app and say whatever you need the help, and the app will be just there to answer everything without judgmental, without being judged.
What I like about the app is that it gives support to people in the community. It lets them know that there are other people going through the same problems as they are going through. So it just gives them a little bit of hope and a little bit of encouragement to just live their truth.
I think what would have helped when I was growing up is, as a gay person, is to have programs to teach people on what homosexuality is, on how to treat a gay person, because we don't want to be treated differently. We just want to be, normal like everybody else.
Two most important things for me is safety and information. Because with safety, then it helps us to be protected. Because people tend to abuse us, not knowing what's actually happening. So if we have safety guards, then we know where to go when we are in situations where we cannot protect ourselves. And then with information, then we get a chance for people to be educated in terms of all the aspects that are happening and for them to understand what's happening.
It's gonna create more job opportunities. It's gonna teach people and innovate the community. And
going to a facility around my area, the nurses at the clinic facility, I don't think they're equipped to deal with an LGBTQI situation because I don't think they have the training to actually help a gay person for that matter. Yeah.
The participant they ask again, how about we can have like the parental support groups whereby we'll individually get to know how our parents they feel whenever one is coming out. You say I'm gay. How does the parent take all this as a parent saying my child is gay or lesbian or an LGBTI person?
So other ideas that I have that I think should be included in the app is that the app should have programs or workshops or activities where they get people from the community and people who are not understanding or ignorant from the community to engage and just break the barriers and stigmas in terms of knowing and how to act in terms of act in certain situations for people in the community. So for example, we could have like fun day or workshop events where people could come and first have games and activities where those games and activities educate the people in the community and the people who don't know, because as much as there's stigmas from people who don't know there's also stigmas for people who are in the community as well. So breaking down those barriers, I think, would be essential. Is getting the two parties together in one environment. I don't think it's understandable why you should hate someone else for choosing a path that they want to choose, where it's nothing to do with you. So I just based on ignorance.
Most important feature about the app is that you get to talk. It's like a forum whereby you can get advice, and then in the journal, because journaling is very important in life, you get to visualize your goals. So if you note down your problems, let's say, you can refer back to them when you have solved them and say, this one I have done it, and you can take it off your journal or write a success story on your journal.
We are extremely excited to be collaborating with Microsoft in the development of this app that will be to the benefit of the entire queer community. Starting off in Southern Africa, we hope that the app will be something that will be made available to all our queer brothers and sisters and non-binary friends and family across the continent. The app is essential in providing a one-stop shop, a single repository, listing all the LGBTI organizations, various support services, legal advice, mental health support, sexual health advice and information, and a range of other tools and services that we will build and continue to build through the app in the years to come. One of the key issues that the queer community faces is the lack of education, the lack of skills, the lack of opportunities. Many companies do not want to employ queer people. They do not like how they present. They do not like how they come across. So often, the marginalized community members are even more marginalized and are not provided the same access to information and to jobs. We're hoping that through this app, we'll be able to provide skills, mentorship programs, and a range of other support groups that will be to the benefit of the queer community.